some instructions here. I'll have some links that I'm going to send to you. There's just a couple in here, but as I say stuff, just throw them in. Hello, we had 130-ish people sign up, so I'm going to wait a little bit for people to come in here. Welcome, everyone. Actually, I'm so excited about this one today. Normally, I like to talk about like all of the sexy marketing, sort of like, hey, here's what you do with all of that. Today is actually incredibly foundational. So I'm really excited about that. Let's start. I always love to know where people are calling in from, and let's talk about what your biggest problem is right now. Like throw that in the chat. I'm going to be looking at the chat. Brywen's going to be looking at the chat. We are going to yeah, it's gonna be a good day, everyone. It's gonna be a good day. So let us know. Let's see here. Can we get a copy of the recording? Ryan, absolutely you can. Absolutely. Calling in from Latvia. London, awesome. Pakistan, Columbus, Serbia. Oh, we have all over the world here. This is incredible. Brywen, where are you calling in from?
Nova Scotia, Canada, and yes, we still have snow.
You do. I don't think we've gotten snow once here, which is wild where I live. Like, there is no snow. It's all the mountains had it at some point, but like, this is a weird year. San Fran, Ryan, awesome. Yeah, we're gonna have a Q&A afterwards. I'm gonna wait again. We had about 120 people sign up, so I want to make sure that I wait a little bit for people to come in, and then we're gonna get to it. There's gonna be tons and tons of value in listing conversions today. I don't think I haven't really seen anybody talk about listing conversions, and so that's a really big like thing that I wanted to get out in the world and let people know like, hey, this is a really big deal, and we'll kind of walk through why it's a big deal. Brywen and I are going to go back and forth on that. And then again, as you guys have questions, we are going to leave the last little bit for questions. So make sure to do that. Get familiar with the public chat here on the live stream. For those of you guys who are watching live, I know that there's going to be a bunch of people on Twitter watching this as well. For those of you guys on Twitter, unfortunately, I cannot see your questions that come in on Twitter. So just so you guys are aware. Well, let's get into it. It is 10:03. So Zarak, when you are doing editing this video for when we send it out afterwards, this is where we are going to start. Welcome, guys. We are going to be talking about TikTok Shop product listings today, how to optimize them, why it is actually such a big deal, why it's something that most brands actually get wrong, and how to actually get it right. What we've learned at Social Commerce Club, the agency that we run, we are, as far as we know, the only platinum partner on TikTok Shop, and which means that we have just done a lot of good work, and we understand and we know what we are doing when it comes to this. This is not a like us bragging sort of thing. This is just trying to help you guys understand that like, hey, we know what we're doing when it comes to product listings, and I want you guys to understand what you guys need to be doing. So great content gets the click. Of course, that is what we talk about all the time when it comes to affiliates, but the great listing gets the conversion, and we see this all the time in accounts. So I'm going to start here and talk about why this matters exactly. Enterprise brands are leaving money on the table. All brands are leaving money on the table. What we have seen is that brands are just kind of phoning these listings in, especially enterprise brands when they're entering the space. And we'll talk about enterprise. We'll talk about brands $10 million and plus. The brands that we work at Social Commerce Club, just so everyone knows, are $10 million and plus. That is the best place for them to come is with us. For other brands, just so you guys know, if you are looking in the space and wondering like, okay, well, how can I get help from you guys? Brock Moser from Frostbuddy and I have actually just launched the first TikTok shop, the first and biggest TikTok shop mastermind in the space. I'm going to drop the link here for you guys so that you guys have it. Just so you guys know, if you guys are watching this from school is officially closed. If you guys are in school, awesome, that's great. School no longer exists for anyone trying to get in. That is now part of the mastermind. So good, you guys are in school. But as far as the mastermind is concerned, that is where everyone's going to go. I just dropped the link there for anybody who wants to be a part of it, just so everyone has an idea. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, the link will be down below, the first link down there. Let's get back into this here. So the cost of getting it wrong, the low conversion rate is insane, right? Like the conversion rates that we see. Brian, what are you seeing in accounts right now as far as like when we go in and somebody comes into Social Commerce Club and we're like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. Like how low are we talking?
I mean, I've seen some shockingly low from very large brands. So, fun fact, I do the majority of the audits myself when we have new brands coming into our environment or wanting to work with us. I have seen conversion rates as low as 0.5%. And these are big brands that are doing sometimes $1 million or more in revenue omni-channel. It is brutal. And the first thing that we look at is obviously the images being used. And these numbers are not an exaggeration where we see like the average conversion rate for shops that actually care about the image stack and care about the listing. And I mean, you're paying to get that traffic to the listing, right? It's no different than D2C if you want to think about it from that perspective. You're paying for the ads, you're paying for the views, you're paying for the cost of samples to get eyeballs here, and you're sending it to die. If you're having difficulty generating GMV, this is the place to look first and take it very seriously.
Yeah. The majority of brands that we see just take their Amazon image stack and then move it over. Like, if you have not noticed, Amazon and TikTok Shop are two very different beasts. What we have noticed, yeah, James, we're going to get into examples. We'll get into all sorts of stuff here. What we have noticed, right, is that Amazon first people have a really hard time over on TikTok Shop. And I think D2C brands actually have an easier time when they move over, but they still aren't exactly getting it right, which is, again, why we're putting out as much possible information as we can from Social Commerce Club. So, yeah, and for those of you guys asking about a recording, yes, absolutely. This will all be recorded for later. So if you guys miss anything, we'll make sure to send out a recording afterwards. And if you guys are watching this on YouTube, you can just scroll right back and watch from the beginning. What we have noticed is that Amazon agencies specifically, because we see a lot of agencies kind of come into the space and try and work here, they'll actually just move over the exact same image stack over, but it's completely different buyer behavior. That is what you need to be aware of as you're doing this. You guys will hear as I'm talking, a lot of the times what I'm really trying to talk about is in principles, right? Like sure, I can tell you guys all of these tactics, but if you cannot principle behind it, then you will not get it. It's just like, okay, well, I'll just listen to that and like kind of do it. But if you don't understand the why behind the why, this is why we really believe in what we're going to be talking about today in the image stack here. I'm just going to answer a quick question. What's the difference between the school program versus the mastermind on WAP? So if you guys are in school already, good for you. It does not exist anymore. So if you're in there, I would hold on to that because that is your ability to be able to communicate in school. From now on, school is actually only for the mastermind. So everyone knows. So if you guys are watching this, the only way that you can get in is through the WAP link below. And that gets you into all sorts of stuff we actually just had a one-on-one mastermind where we're actually talking back and forth, doing hot seats with brands where you're able to be live asking questions. I had Brock, I had Parker, our CEO. Brock from Frostbuddy was in there. We do those once every 2 weeks, so that's involved there, plus actual private communication via Slack and a shared Slack channel. So that's kind of what that looks like. So far, I am seeing it be absolutely massive value. That is the difference between the school program and the WAP program. So Brian, I'm sure you guys were like way better last time of like just staying on track. You'll see I do not stay on track. But hopefully that's the charm, right? All right, let's talk about why the TikTok Shop environment is fundamentally different, because I think that that's really important. Brian, you want to tackle this?
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing that I think has been sort of covered in all elements of TikTok Shop, but it bears repeating, is it is a very impulse-driven marketplace. And that's sort of fundamentally different from Amazon. And what this means from the product image itself and to the actual listing as a whole is you have 1 second basically to capture that attention, make sure that they have the level of education that they need, and that we have that rapid purchase validation. Very, very important. So this comes through the content as well that we use to get them there. We have to get their interest, keep their interest, and convince them to make a purchase. They are not doing research on TikTok Shop, and that's the fundamental difference. On Amazon, you're going to add 1,010 different things to your cart. You're going to peruse by brand. Here, we need to confirm the promise that we made in the viral video or the piece of content that they actually saw to get them there. So you want to make sure that all questions are answered, in particularly for the visuals. You're going to have an opportunity to have descriptions, to have additional text actually in the product listing itself. Do we think people are reading on TikTok Shop, that they're going through these image descriptions, they're going through this information? The answer is no. You're going to have some
It's a
people
visual
that really
platform.
No.
Like,
Exactly.
we need to remember that. They're not suddenly going to be like, oh, I'm a scholar that's looking at all of this stuff here, right? Like, that's not, yeah, that is not what's going on. We almost had Parker Kump join, everyone. I just want to let you guys know, we almost had.
He's trying.
He is trying to join. Oh my gosh, Parker Kump, welcome to the listings discussion. Great to have you here. I didn't know that you were going to be here as well. Guys, you are getting some value today, so this is going to be absolutely wild. Here's something that's blowing my mind, Brywen, is that the stats are saying, and this is like stats right now, 3 in 4 TikTok users are likely to buy something while using the app. That is wild. That is wild to me that is the place that we're at. I was telling everyone 2 years ago, I was like, this is going to be the next big shopping channel, right? Like this is where we need to be on board. And thus 2 years later, we see like every single brand and their dog trying to get onto the platform, because this is the reason why. When 3 in 4 people, so what is that? Let's say there's 200 million users, daily users that use it for like 90 minutes a day. If 3 out of 4 of them are likely to make purchases in the platform, it's just not optional anymore. Like it's just not optional. And so this is why we're trying to help you guys, right? And trying to help everybody that's out there right now with this. Let's talk about the PDPs exactly of like what this means. Brywen, you want to jump in there?
Yeah, absolutely. So what this means is you need to build that credibility, that trust, and really overcome any skepticism that people are going to have. This is a channel, again, short attention spans. If you have a full minute of their attention on your PDP, you know, that is winning the lottery. You have to capture that attention. So if you're thinking about that from the first image that they see, it's not sexy. TikTok Shop wants to have a very clean, clear, crisp image that just shows the product, but you're able to gain that trust immediately from that first image and encourage the scroll by having badges, by having credibility boosters in the form of, you know, little badges that you're able to use. If you are a supplement brand that has 1 million bottles sold, you can have that there. Get that trust, keep that trust, and encourage them to look through to the next image, and then actually architect your image stack so you go through the order that information needs to be addressed. What do they care about? Do they care about the benefits?
In the image stack, just so everyone knows.
Exactly.
That's in the image stack.
100%. Especially think about what your current state is. Do you have reviews on the product? Are you going to have to do a little bit extra to show that people are actually buying your product? In the case if you don't have enough reviews or you have too few reviews, you're going to have to do that extra mile right out the gate. So think about the current state and put yourself in the mind of the customer and what they're looking at and what they're going to need to see in order to make that purchase. You're also on the back end of that, Jordan, I think this is important to say, you also have to care how it looks to creators. If you have an ugly image stack and they think that customers are not going to want to purchase, if they don't think there's enough social proof, if they don't think that there is enough reason to just like get that impulse purchase happening, they're not going to want to work with you because it's going to be too challenging for them to make a sale, regardless of how high the commissions set are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Let's talk about the PDP and this visual sales funnel. Parker, you want to jump in here at all?
Yeah, absolutely. So the kind of the big thing that we focused on is like the psychology between like the phases of the PDPs and just the visual sales funnel that it is. We kind of broke it down to 3 sales phases. Is just like this hook and validate through phases of PDPs of like 1 to 2, and then this deep dive into the products from 3 to 5, and then the trust and assurance from 6 to 9 of these 9 kind of phases of the PDP and PID structure. So this is crucial for setup, and it's plays towards just one validating. It's like spending attention towards your landing page and just true conversion booster for your shop. So I think this is the first area that we at SEC dive into to make sure that it's set up correctly, and then it just is like the best recipe for having a good shop score.
Awesome. Great. Bradwin?
Yeah, I think if we talk about the visual elements of it, and I see that Mux, you're asking a very specific question about a pet grooming brand, and if you don't have social proof, what is the order of priority here? And we'll get into that a little bit more in terms of what stage is being covered in each sort of, we'll say, rounds of the images. So if we're thinking about this in 9, there's sort of 3 phases. You want to go in order of what are people going to care about. So if this is a brand, for instance, that is supposed to be non-toxic, and the reason people buy is going to be safety, and they want that security, you're going to want to lead with that. If this is a product that is, clothing, you're going to want to lead with, well, how does it feel? How does it look? Get through any common pain points, because the likelihood of someone actually getting through every single image in your image stack is quite low. We want them making that purchase decision as soon as possible. So you really want to think about this in the sense that if I only have, 4 image tiles to show them, what images am I going to prioritize? What information is important? Now, this shouldn't be guesswork. And I really want to clarify this as well. If you have D2C, if you're established elsewhere, go to your reviews, review mine, find out and understand why people are purchasing your product, what need it's fulfilling. Another really great option is going to be post-purchase surveys from wherever you're currently selling your product. Understanding why people are buying is so incredibly important, and then reverse engineering that into this image stack. If you don't have that and you're like an actual full cold start brand, talk to your creators. Your creator community is your number one focus group that is going to be very honest with you about what they like about your product, why they're buying it, why they're interested. And they're also, I'll say this, they're experts. They're probably working with competing brands. They've done this before. They're going to have some knowledge that they can pass on. Listen to them, take that into consideration, and really build this in so it's not just aesthetically pleasing, because we want it to be pretty, obviously. Sorry to use that word, but I'm going to. But it also needs to be intentional.
Awesome. One other thing and one other sort of idea that I have here as well that I wanted to make sure, and this is maybe a bit of an addition to what we're talking about here, is the idea of AdSense. So if you guys aren't familiar with the concept of AdSense, the idea is that the ad itself the landing page itself looks like the ad. So the scent that you have, I mean, how many times have you guys clicked an ad and be like, that's the wrong page? There's no possible way they were trying to send me to that page, because it has nothing to do with that. The same thing is true on TikTok Shop, right? So thinking about what the biggest, the types of things that creators are talking about and that affiliates are talking about, that you're talking about, whatever that is really important, right? To be able to then include in your image stack. So let's just say that for this instance, in this cleaning spray, somebody is constantly talking about, I'm trying to think, like let's just say that they're constantly in the kitchen cleaning with this cleaning spray. All right. And they're constantly cleaning chicken mess. Okay. Just for instance, you would want to have an image of a before and after of gross chicken mess after, and then a non-gross chicken mess after that, because that will create this AdSense. So if that's one of your top viral videos, that is what I would recommend to do on your PDP, is keep this AdSense and as many different types of ways that people are going to use the product as possible. That's a really big part of this. So I hope that helps for just one sort of extra kind of way that I think about this. Brian, you want to talk about TikTok's policies?
Oh yeah, boy do they have a few. Also, thank you, Akeith, for letting me know that I had some interference coming in. I had a fan running on in the background, so that is shut off, but I will mute myself anytime I'm not speaking, so that way it doesn't drown out Jordan or Parker. So everything on TikTok Shop side, 99.9%, is managed by AI. There's a bot in the background that is just automatically approving, denying, and that is problematic in the sense that depending on how you upload, so for instance with your image stack, you're not going to get in front of a real person. If you have a rep, they'll be able to help you, but you are going to run into barriers where you're going to have images that fail, image stacks that are going to bring down your overall listing quality. So you want to make sure that you understand the policies right out the gate. The first one that we see a lot of brands having challenges with is that first image. And specifically TikTok, they want to have it on a nice clear background. Preference is to have it on a white background. So that way you have some contrast between your product and the background itself. It's going to stand out, it's going to be clear. Again, you are able to have little badges and things like that, but it's important that you really, really out the gate have that clear and concise. A couple of things that this is going to help with. Achieving that good listing tier, you absolutely want this. You do not want to be, and sorry, my nose is running and this is being recorded. How awful. So I'll turn off my camera as I wipe my nose.
Oh, we're gonna get so many comments down like in YouTube after.
Oh, it's
like,
gonna
oh
be,
my
it's
gosh,
gonna
I
be
can't believe
awful.
that she did that. It ruined the call. Wow. Wow, it's terrible.
I know. I'm so sorry, guys. Achieving that good listing tier. The number one issue here, again, as I mentioned, is having poor or only fair quality. That is going to have some negative implications for you. So you always want to be checking this. You always want to make sure that your listing quality is good or better. This is going to also make it a little bit easier for you to be eligible for those dynamic ad formats. Very important. You want to have unlimited access to everything on the back end of TikTok Shop. That is going to help you, and it's also going to maximize your organic visibility. This is super important because while obviously you're going to have a high reliance on ads, especially in the beginning if you're a cold start brand, you want to get that snowball happening where organic is coming through for you.
Awesome. I'm going to actually ask this question to Parker and Brywin and see if you guys understand this. What about even a small badge like product from Ulta with white background and product in the focus like that?
So
is that okay? Like, are those things okay on the first image?
So specifically, what I would urge against is anytime you're referencing another retailer, TikTok does not like that. So Ulta, Target, I mean, any retailer that you can think of, I typically recommend against that, especially if you're using it there, you're probably going to have creators think that they can say, hey, this is in Ulta. Anytime there's references to that, your content can get dinged. What we have seen work quite well is having badges about like 1 million bottles sold, or
yeah, that's the other
tested.
question there, Brywin, is like adding an award logo for a product one being a beauty brand.
Yes. So we have seen it work well. You do have to make sure that, again, it's not large, it's not ostentatious, it's not taking up space. Recommend trying it out. If for whatever reason the TikTok algorithm or the AI rather is saying, no, we're not liking this, just resubmit with that clear white background. But we have seen a lot of brands succeed with having this, and it is something that we encourage all brands to do.
Awesome. That's great. Let's take a quick, actually, I want to actually get to some of these questions because I don't want them to get buried here. These are going to be a little tougher for the team here. Maybe Parker's going to have to answer this one. Get out the bot, Parker. Ed asked, and this was actually above the above question as well, so I want to make sure that we kind of answer this all together here. So I was accepted to the Fulfilled by TikTok program. Do customers look for that? Is there a badge like Amazon Prime that helps customers make the purchase because they know that it'll be fast, or is that not rolled out yet? If not, then I'll just connect TikTok Shop through ByteDance for Amazon MCF for now. I just want to answer one quick question here. Make sure you're using one of the, whichever one of the connectors that you're using is one of the ones that is approved by TikTok Shop right now, because if not, then you are potentially in the next month or so, you are going to be in a bad place, Ed. So make sure to look for those. They continually are getting more and more. Did ShopDance finally get approved, Brywin? Did you see that at all, Brywin or Parker?
I haven't seen the announcement or anything. I think they'll be rolling out some more approval this month for sure,
Yeah.
but I haven't seen. Let me look into, and I can respond in the chat about the badge of Fulfilled by TikTok, because I do believe they want to be communicating to consumers to show that they can be fulfilled faster. But let me do a little digging.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, we'll make sure to answer that afterwards, Ed. And once Parker actually does some of the digging, we'll make sure to answer that afterwards in this video as well. So if you guys are watching this afterwards on YouTube, just know we will answer that question, or the answer might be, we don't know. So either way, we do like to try to answer all of the questions in some sort of way. So Just so you know. I actually want to get into this question here from Hassan because I think it's a really, really important question. So you said that TikTok Shop is easy for D2C brands rather than Amazon brands. So what about retail brands on Target and Walmart? Are they also getting TikTok Shop hard? So here's the again, the underlying principle that I like to think about when it comes to this is that the reason why D2C brands understand TikTok Shop more than Amazon brands understand it is because it's all about the idea with TikTok Shop is that it is all about demand generation, not demand capture. So marketplaces inherently are incredible when it comes to demand capture, right? So you can get really, really good at demand capture, being like, oh, this person is searching for this thing. This person is searching for this thing. But you don't really understand how to generate demand. D2C brands, on the other hand, who have been really heavy on Meta, understand that, like not everyone needs a wallet right now, but they demand they generate that demand in the market, right? Rather than just capturing when somebody's like, I need a wallet. That is the big difference here. And that's why D2C brands generally have an easier time on TikTok Shop. And they didn't really understand that at first. But yet the majority of like Amazon brands jumped on because they understood it's another marketplace. It's like a marketplace and a demand generation channel had a baby. And this baby is beautiful. And it's called TikTok Shop. So... There you go. Brian, are you regretting saying yes to coming on with this with me yet, or?
God, no. I also would just add to what you're saying about retail, because this is a question that we get a lot. There are a lot of retail dominant brands that crush on TikTok. However, the ones that perform best have TikTok Shop exclusives because you need to give consumers a reason to purchase from TikTok Shop, creators a reason to want to promote a product that they know is available at every retailer, especially if it's cheaper. And coming from a retail background, there's a lot of price matching that needs to happen that you are obviously unable to offer lower prices elsewhere, and that retailers
you will lose the buy
pricing.
box on Amazon, everyone. Just so you know.
Yes, that, and it's. If you work with Costco, they take it very, very seriously. They are always checking that. So that's something to be aware of, that like launching TikTok Shop, if you're a retail dominant brand, having an exclusive, whether that's an exclusive bundle, an exclusive product, something that you're able to have where it's priced competitively and people have a reason to purchase it there. Consumers at the end of the day will always purchase wherever they're most comfortable. If Amazon is beating you on price, they will purchase there. It's hard to beat that 2-day Prime shipping. 60-day money-back guarantee. Retail, if they can walk by any store, go to the grocery store and get your product, they have no reason to buy on TikTok Shop, but you're paying for their attention on TikTok Shop.
Yeah. Awesome. Great. Man, we got...
But yes, the Fulfilled by TikTok... Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Fulfilled by TikTok, will be showed, and it is a conversion booster. It'll just show... It's not quite like Amazon, but like a 3-day kind of shipping delivery badge, which we think it does improve conversions on your product, so it is consumer facing. Just getting the updated list of native integrated connectors for you guys as well.
Sweet, that's great. Thanks, man. Here's one of the things that you need to know. Will it be like? Is it today? Or will it be like Prime in the future? Absolutely. It will be the like Fulfilled by TikTok will be the Prime of the future. There's going to be all sorts of stuff to do with that. TikTok's not dumb. They're going to follow in the same lead as like what Prime has done. They are trying to build out an Amazon killer in what they're doing. That is completely different. And so you need to know like whatever it is today, sure, but like let's look in the future. Absolutely. Will it be essential to get onto Fulfilled by TikTok? Yes. Like there's zero doubt in my mind, even seeing what they're doing. And I'm sorry if there's some drop shippers on here, but like it is crazy what they're doing to like get rid of drop shippers on the platform as well. Like that is absolutely wild to see that. So Brian, you want to go through the 9 image conversion stack?
Heck yeah, I do. So as I mentioned previously, there's going to be certain phases here, and you want to really architect your product stack here in the image stack rather, to sort of go through the pain points. Phase 1 is just hook. Really, you want to grab their attention and you want to have some form of validation. So if you want to think about these as your first 2 images, that's perfect. There's going to be some nuance here depending on brand, but this is going to give you sort of the overall base model for it. Phase 2 is the feature deep dive and problem solution. So whether or not Again, they care more about the benefits versus, the problem solution. Again, it's going to depend on product. This is where you're going to want to have that information. Slots 3 through 5. This is also a really good opportunity, for instance, if you are a clothing brand or if you have products that have multiple variants, whether it's by color, flavor, etc. Using one of these tiles here to also go through and cover everything that they would need to know as far as, if it's a protein shake, what are the flavors? If it's clothing, what are all the colors and styles that they can get that are available within that listing itself? And then phase 3, this is very, very important, but that trust and proof assurance. So leveraging social proof. So this is where talking about how many bottles are sold, how many products are sold, happy customers, 5-star reviews, very, very important, as well as any final pain points that people might have. If there is, a number one reason that people say, hey, I'm not sure how to use this product, and that that's going to be a barrier to entry, make sure you include that here. This is where you really want to make sure that you've answered all of their questions and there's no additional research needed on their end. All of this information should be contained here. And I know that there are some brands that think 9 images is a lot. Are people going to see these all? Again, maybe not everyone's going to get to the end, but you want to use the real estate available to you. Your competitors are, and the brands that are crushing it on platform that have really beautiful product stacks, they are using every single bit of real estate that they have. So Make sure you cover that. And if you're thinking about this again in terms of what should I cover first, you can also test this. If you have multiple products, you can test out on one image stack, do I have benefits over USP first or vice versa, problem solution? You can play around with that. You'll quickly see the conversion rates, be able to watch that over time. And I would say, so long as you've got decent traffic going there, within 2 weeks, you'll know which one is your winner. And then you can then just update your additional product listings.
Awesome. Oh, Parker, it looks like you're coming through as me on the chat.
I saw that.
I just want to throw something in there. Brian, thank you so much. So what I forgot to let you guys know, what you guys are looking at, we didn't make this specially for you, this presentation. This is what our internal team uses to learn how to make good listings. So the people that we get at Social Commerce Club, just so everyone's kind of aware, we get incredible talent from TikTok. We get a lot of ex-TikTok people that come because they know that we are, the platinum agency out there, and they want to come and work and continue to grow and work with the best brands in the world. They go through our training program. This is one little part of our training program that they go through. And so we wanted to give you exactly what we give our people. So I just want everyone to understand, this is what we do at Social Commerce Club. We are telling you exactly what we do because we want you to steal it and do it for yourself, because we know that a lot of you guys out there and big brands that are out there that want to work with SEC, that you're oh, okay, can you just do this for me? This is what we do. And this is the stringent way that we run all of this. And this is why we are the platinum partner out there. So I just wanted to let everyone know, I'm very proud of our team. I'm very proud of Parker and Brian and what we have built, because it's really phenomenal and absolutely world class. So I just wanted you guys to understand what you're getting here. So, all right, let's talk a little bit about the first 5 images. Parker, you want to tackle this one?
Yeah, let's do it. Awesome. So this is kind of like Brian went through. There's the 3 phases. So now we want to dive deep into this. So this is the hero is number 1. This is how you have to have the pure white background, front view of the product, no text or logos. Its job is to just unlock visibility, just super straightforward of the product. Then moving into lifestyle, and you want this. How we've kind of built this is to match consumer journey, right? You want to see the product, what am I buying, and then see it in use, or a lifestyle and use in context. So don't show, don't tell, right? Demonstrate the product. So if it's a dog, let's stick with the pet product, like show it with a pet, just make it very clear to the consumer of what it's used for. A lot of people don't read descriptions, they're just flipping through the catalog. So it's just the consumer journey. This is the product, this is it in use. And now this is the key feature highlight. So the wow factor, what is your main differentiator? This goes to like our creator playbook that we did last workshop, is how are you differentiating from the big players in the space? So, hey, it's like this product, but different. Don't say that product, but this is what it's different. This is the key highlight, and this is where you want to highlight the main differentiator. And then a technical diagram or scale. So like people like to see like how big is this? If it's a bottle, then how big is this bottle? What can, just to help, it also helps manage expectations. If they're buying something then it gets shipped and it's just way different scale than what they were anticipating, it leads to bad reviews, or just this helps them understand the product and know what to expect when it comes through their door. And the last is kind of like the problem solved or transformation. So this is how you should feel when using the product. This is the dog before using this pet grooming product. This is the dog after. Just transition. Before and afters have been the godfather of marketing for years for a reason. It just completely tells the consumer what to expect when using the product, what they should feel or what they should look like or what the benefit should be. So this is like this transition from this hook of these first 3 slides to then going into the product. So that's 4 to 5, going into the product scale, the problem solution. And then Jordan, if you go to the next slide, this goes into the expanding on the product, but more into the trust building. So this is like the visual social proof. So this is bringing in reviews. I saw a question about like exporting reviews. This is where you could say like, hey, this is where these badges come in, or like the social proof. Hey, this many reviews or this many products shipped across the US. Like this is where you can really build proof and validate. And then the repurpose UGC style assets to drive authority, an image that looks like a genuine customer photo, so more organic looking. This is different than the first image of it in use. That should be a little more polished. This can then turn into more UGC of like a consumer, and you can source this from your consumers, just get permission. And then a variation of bundle options or comparisons. And the last 3 is just, again, building kind of that reassurance into like the comparison of bundle options, or like an assurance guarantee, like a final CTA. Essentially what best practices is a lot of these should almost be ads themselves. A lot of these product images could be used as standalone meta ad graphics. That's the quality of this, and how, so it's essentially you're getting a shot at showing 9 different ads to the consumer all in one, and working them down the customer journey with a final kind of call to action, or maybe even an AOV booster. But this is just broken down, those 3 stages that Brian went through of like the hook, the deep dive into the product, and then validating. And since rolling this out, we've seen conversion just go through the roof compared to just either like we've seen with just one slide of just the product, not with scale or any social proof, but having this journey really helps your conversion rate.
Yeah, awesome. I'm just going to answer a quick question here just because Mux, if I'm saying that right, has asked this a couple of times, just talking about something like premium A+ listings in TikTok Shop. As far as I know, there is nothing, it's just one listing type right now. Is that right, guys? Am I there on the right track versus the A+ style listing that there is on
like the Amazon premium A+? Yeah, there's no TikTok Shop have an A+ premium listing. That's the closest thing would be like the fulfilled by TikTok, like kind of version like conversion booster of like this will be 3-day, but it's no like Amazon premium A+ equivalent.
Yeah, Matt's got an interesting question here too. What's the next kind of content type that you would say if a before and after isn't viable for your product, right? If there's no like before and after, I think like apparel is one of those things, right? Unless it's solving a problem, like I don't know, I'm not even going to get into it, but what would you say there?
I would personally expand on differentiators then. Like if you have multiple differentiators, if there's before and after, like apparel is a really good example, then hopefully there's some kind of differentiator, or like Comfort does a good job of not before and after, but they show like the benefits of wearing their hoodie. I think they rely on like stress or comfort and just like, hey, this hoodie has this size. So they just really lean into their differentiators rather than before and after.
Yeah.
And they expand on that rather than having one slide. That would be my go-to.
Yeah, I would definitely look like if I was in apparel, I would just start looking at all of those top apparel brands right now to see what their image stacks look like, because you know that their conversion rates. Again, go use FastMoss. That's like what I'm always recommending when it comes to this is like go look at your competitors in FastMoss, take a look, see what they're doing, and again, the best are always copying, right? Like that's, and I've seen a lot of people out there copying us, so maybe we're not the best.
I mean, even if it's not before and after, like just a comparison. Like, so I've seen like hoodies, they still kind of do a before and after. They're like, oh, the hoodie was too small. Now it's a wider hoodie. So there, you can still even do forms of before and after, but it's just these were your options before us. Now that you found us, these are your options. So it's kind of the same thing, but it's more of just a comparison.
Yeah. I want to get to this question, and then we're going to get back into this sort of practical playbook just to make sure that you guys have this checklist. This is something I would probably screenshot if you guys, want to make sure that you're actually going off of this. So super helpful. Thank you. Very nice. I have another question about the ROI of GMV Max ads. For a beauty brand where competition is really high during the early testing phase and later while scaling, what ROI should we realistically expect for GMV Max ads to be considered performing well? Also, how should we determine the benchmark before reaching a fully profitable ROI? Man, Parker and I were just answering these kinds of questions and more with Brock in our new mastermind, which I will drop a link to here. Parker, do you want to tackle this one?
Yeah. So the kind of question that we got asked was, hey, I've set my ROI to like my goal of what it is, and it's just either not spending efficiency or not even getting close. I think it was a 4 or 5x the individual set, as well as they were using GMV Max and separating it per hero SKU. So the suggestion we gave this brand was, one, you don't have enough data yet. So you're in a data play, which doesn't always lead to profitability, but the profitability is around the corner. So before, you want to maximize data, which means resetting your ROI to a minimal, like a 1.0, we suggest, just to get the data flowing, and then converting your GMV Max all into one and having all products with select all. We just dump products into this, have your hero SKUs, like make sure you're having the right products being able to be shopped and move in, but convert it all into one GMV Max, auto select, and have all these videos moving in and set a very low until it's fully utilized, and then you can start scaling that up. The profitability, that would just be due to like contribution margin of the product and your gross margin. So I would have that number going into this, but don't set it early days. Okay, my 3x is where my contribution margin breaks even. You're probably not going to be setting at a 3x to start. Set at a 1.0, let that data flow, let your budget actually be utilized 100%, and slowly work it up to the goal being 3x within 3 months, I would say, as a reasonable time frame.
Ryan, I just want some more context on your question. So if you could, your budget question, can you let us know general size of your brand before we answer that question? Because it really matters, I'll tell you what I think the budget should be in the apparel space, but I'd like to know, like, what size of brand are we talking here? Like, are you 10 million plus? Are you 100 million plus? Like, or are you more like in the like under 10 million sort of space? Because then I'll let you know from there. I think for now, Brad, you just want to quickly go through the PDP image audit checklist and just see if there's anything that we have talked about here that we're missing, and I just want to make sure that we're good. And Jenny, we will potentially be sharing these slides. We'll figure out a way to share these slides, most likely definitely in the mastermind, if not in school as well, for those of you guys who are over there. But we'll make sure to share this afterwards through the Luma link as well. We'll make sure to share this actual presentation through. So
awesome. Yeah, so everything that we covered here today is in this checklist. Super, super practical, but they're just like a very quick yes or no. If there's any no's, go back, fill in the gaps. First, quantity and quality. Do you have 5 to 9 images? Again, our recommendation is 9. You have the real estate available to you, use it. High resolution, you want these to be high quality. We talked about this a little bit, and I know someone back in the chat asked, like, hey, do I have to have high quality brand assets? Yes, the highest quality you can have, the better. This does not mean it has to be a studio shoot. You can capture really high quality images with the right lighting and the right amount of care using just an iPhone or, a regular camera setup. People eat with their eyes. People shop with their eyes first too. This is a visual platform. If the images look low quality or look like janky AI, people are going to have low trust. You want to capture that immediately. Slot 1 compliance, again, is your first image going to comply with TikTok Shop's policies? Should be a quick yes or no on that. Context is king. Is there at least one lifestyle image in use? People want to see other people using the product. Parker mentioned size, use case, etc. Make sure that's in there. Show the value. Is there at least one image showing a key close-up feature or before and after transformation? If before and afters don't work for you, have more comparison type shots, have more us versus them. There's a lot more at your disposal there. Managing the expectations. Again, it ties in with the lifestyle, but is there at least one image showing, or sorry, I'm reading the wrong one there. At least one info that shows, Jordan's gonna get at me for that one afterwards. Showing the size, the dimensions, what's included in the box. If it's going to come in like a nice, for instance, gift set box, is that being shown? Do I know what's coming? Building trust, we talked about this one, but having social proof, is it the reviews? Are you able to show UGC, like really just validating that this is something that people can trust and that other people like it? And no duplicates, this is so important. Don't just copy and paste and upload two of the same image if you're trying to have those 9 image slots there fully full. Yeah. Try to differentiate, make sure that there's new information. People don't want to read the same thing over and over. You're going to lose their trust as well as just their attention. So making sure that each one is different. The use of color, contrast. If you've got 6 USPs, break it up so it's 3 and 3 using 2 images. You can get creative with it.
I'm going to get to a few questions here because we are starting to come to the end here, and I want to make sure we wrap everything up nicely in a bow here for questions that we can answer here. So Ed has another really great question that I want to answer for everyone here is, what does it take to be approved for subscription orders through TikTok Shop? Is there an eligibility requirement? I don't see it listed under my product as an option. So Ed, I think I saw before there that you don't have any sales yet. I am going to go ahead and assume that and Parker and Brian, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but that you are going to need to get through a couple of hoops first. The 50 order level, you're going to have to get into that level before you start unlocking some of those different features that TikTok Shop has. But you will be able to, especially in health and wellness. Absolutely. I mean, subscriptions are a massive unlock for so many brands. So there are... I'm trying to think of like the exact numbers here, but there's a couple of hoops that you're going to have to jump through as you're starting to get onto the platform. Again, TikTok Shop is getting like Amazon level right now. So that's a really big part. Brian or Parker, do you have anything to chime in on that one?
No, yeah, that's accurate. It's only for like, they call it selected sellers. And so if you're not seeing it on your account, that's pretty normal. It's once you get into that threshold and then get like an account rep, that would be the first person I'd be contacting to unlock these features. If you don't automatically get it offered to you, but it's, yeah, they protect it under select sellers. So it's very normal to not have access to it yet, but awesome. Health is in there.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So Ed, you should just keep pushing, and it should come. Talk to your rep. Whatever you can do to just keep pushing on TikTok itself to try to get that unlocked for you. And as you start to get sales, then you can show them like, hey, look, we're doing well. We want subscriptions next. So let's just see here. Oh no, Ed, you are the best. I'm just kidding. Well, I mean, you're good. But okay, how many creators do you recommend each month generating content for your brand to be able to scale? Parker, you got a question? It's very vague, but go for it.
How many creators are recommended each month to generate content for your brand? Okay. Yeah, it's a very general question. I'll tell you kind of what our best practices are to get off, and then I'll also answer the budget question, because I believe there's a budget question on how to get this off the ground. To start, we recommend at least sampling like 100 to 200 samples, so it would be 100 to 200 creators with the expectation of at least posting 3 to 5 videos per sample. That's usually our rule of thumb. We try to aim for it. I think 100 to 150 is a good amount. Then you're getting hundreds of videos, and then you can coordinate a moment that we call in SEC a blitz moment, but at least coordinating that amount. And then having at scale this healthy kind of between target collab, open collab, and then ads being this like 35 to 25 and 40% bucket. That is usually generally the balance we like to see, but to start, I would aim for budgeting at least, so this then starts answering the budget question of at least 100 to 200 samples. Additionally, I would be I think I saw at 20 million around revenue. We say at least like a 10 to 15K ad budget and a 10 to 15K creator incentive budget. So this is like when you start working with creators and having those hundreds of samples and then getting target collabs out there of creators generating GMV or at least proven to generate GMV, you can then work them into your community, and that's when that creator incentive budget comes in. You can start gamifying, right? You can give them contests, you can give them objectives to hit, and you can tier it. So that all goes into the budget. So, and that's monthly. I forget who asked. I think it was Ed or somebody. So that 10 to 15K creator incentive, 10 to 15K ad spend, and budgeting at least 100 to 200 samples a month, I think is, if you can go in with that budget, you're pretty set up for success. And then a commission rate, percentages can range from 15 to 20%, but like we say in SEC, you can't eat a percentage. At least have a floor of a $5 commission, right? If they're making a sale, they'll get a $5 commission. So that should go into your budget as well as how much am I willing to take away from my margin to then drive profitability. But hopefully that helps. You can then start compiling a budget that will, all those things added up will definitely set you up for success.
Yeah. So
yes, Ryan.
I just want to address something that I think a lot of people, even brands that will come into SEC, sometimes fall prey to this. Is that most people are used to a linear line, right? They're used to linear growth. TikTok Shop is not like that. This is an exponential curve, the way that it works. And so for a long time, you'll be doing these things, right? You'll be like doing all of the stuff that we say to do and sampling all of these creators, and you'll be revving your engine and spinning your tires, and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And then suddenly it hits. And most of us don't understand an exponential curve. And so do not quit early. Right? That is what I really recommend. Like, if you're going to do this, you need to commit for 3 to 6 months. When you look, if anyone's gone through and done the forecasting tool that we have, the forecasting tool never says that you're going to make money in the first 3 months. Never. Okay? So don't ever think that that is going to be the case. This is a huge investment channel. You have to invest at the beginning. But like I'm saying, right? It is an exponential curve, right? It's a logarithmic scale that as you are down in this level here, you're like, nothing's working. And that's when everyone quits, right? That is your opportunity to continue on to see the leading indicators of what you're doing, right? And leading indicators in this case are going to be video views, viral videos, people actually going to your PDP. It's going to be all of those things, the amount of affiliates starting to work with you. Those are going to be those leading indicators that are going to get you into this viral curve, right? Into this exponential curve, which is where you're going to take off, right? But don't quit early, or just don't do it. Just like if you're not willing to do it, just don't do TikTok Shop, because I see so many people going in for like 3 months and then quitting. I'm like, but you just put in all the work. You just laid all of the foundation. It'd be like building a house and laying a foundation and then suddenly being like, well, I don't see a house yet. You're like, yeah, but you see a foundation, right? So like, very important. I just want to let everyone kind of understand that portion of it. It's very, very important. We are getting to the end here, guys. I'm so sorry. We cannot answer any more questions. You guys, we'll see you guys on the next one. Also, for anyone, if you do have a million questions on TikTok Shop, when it comes to this, come and join Parker and Brock and I's mastermind. That is the best place to get access to us. We have a private single Slack channel, as well as calls every 2 weeks where we are actually, you guys are on the call with us, as well as you get school access in there as well. So I'm going to throw that link in below. If anyone wants to join us there, you can ask, you can get a bunch more questions answered there. Any final words from Parker or Brywin today?
No, hope this gave some actionable tips and helped answer as many questions as we could. But it's always a good time with everybody.
Yeah, you guys were amazing, and we'll see you guys on the next one.